Welcome to Ranting Politics Headline Updates, where we break down the day's biggest political bombshells with a side of sass and straight talk. First up, the Biden administration is quietly auctioning off border wall materials before Trump takes office. And let me tell you, this one's got Republicans seeing red. Then we'll hit Wall Street, where Trump's making waves at the New York Stock Exchange. Jim Cramer's got some interesting thoughts about what this means for your portfolio. We're also diving into a shocking health story about those supposedly heart-healthy seed oils in your kitchen. Turns out they might not be so healthy after all. And get this, Mark Zuckerberg's cozying up to Team Trump, looking to shape tech policy in the new administration. We've got the inside scoop on that Mar-a-Lago dinner everyone's talking about. Stick around. This is one episode you won't want to miss. In a move that's raising eyebrows across Washington, the Biden administration is quietly clearing away unused southern border wall materials and putting them up for auction. Custom and Border Protection agents near Tucson, Arizona, are reporting that flatbed trucks are hauling away roughly half a mile of wall sections daily, with materials being stripped from three key areas: Nogales, Tucson, and 3 Points. These aren't just small pieces we're talking about here. The materials, officially listed as steel bollard wall sections with grout, are being transported to Pinal Air Park in Marana, Arizona. And get this, they're being sold through an online auction house called GovPlanet, with bids starting at just $5. That's right, $5 for pieces of what was supposed to be an impenetrable, physical, tall, powerful, beautiful southern border wall. Republicans are fuming, claiming that up to $300 million worth of taxpayer-funded wall components have been left to rust since Biden took office. Representative Eli Crane from Arizona didn't mince words, suggesting this is a deliberate attempt to hamstring the incoming administration. A Border Patrol agent speaking anonymously revealed the administration's apparent rush to clear everything before Christmas. The timing here is particularly interesting, given Trump's pledge to resume wall construction and launch a mass deportation effort when he takes office in January. Speaking of Trump, this situation mirrors exactly what he faced in 2016. He spent $15 billion during his presidency to install about 450 miles of barriers, with another 250 miles in progress when his term ended. Now it looks like he'll have to fight that funding battle all over again. The White House has remained conspicuously quiet on the matter, leaving many to wonder about the true motivations behind this 11th hour clearance sale. Wall Street got quite a show today as President-elect Donald Trump made a triumphant return to the New York Stock Exchange. And while the major indices may have dipped, CNBC's Jim Cramer says this visit speaks volumes about what's ahead for investors. Trump's appearance alongside Melania came right after being named Times Person of the Year for the second time. And while some might dismiss this as just another photo op, Cramer argues it sends a powerful message about the incoming administration's stance on business and markets. Drawing parallels to Ronald Reagan's historic NYSE bell ringing back in 1985, Cramer points out that having a president who openly champions higher stock prices makes a real difference for investor confidence. He noted that while Trump's love for business won't magically fix every market challenge, just look at Adobe's 13% tumble today, it does give investors something they've been missing: a cheerleader-in-chief for American business. This stands in stark contrast to the current administration, with Cramer pointing out that President Biden never once visited the NYSE during his term. Based on Cramer's personal experience with Biden from their CNBC days, he suggests the current president simply didn't prioritize market performance the way Trump does. Sure, not all of Trump's proposed policies will sail through smoothly, but Cramer emphasizes that what matters most is having leadership that understands and values the investing class. As he puts it, even on a down day like today, having a president-elect ring the opening bell sends a clear signal that the White House will once again be very much in favor of higher stock prices. And for long-term investors, that could make all the difference. Hold on to your avocado toast, folks, because there's a serious controversy brewing over something most of us consume every day without thinking twice: seed oils. With Robert F. Kennedy Jr. set to head up Health and Human Services in the incoming administration, we might be looking at a major shakeup in America's nutrition policies. These oils, which come from soybeans, peanuts, sunflowers, and other seeds, have quietly taken over our food supply in a way that would shock most people. Get this, Americans are now getting up to 10% of their daily calories from just one component of these oils, linoleic acid. That's up from basically zero a century ago. Here's where it gets wild. These oils weren't even meant for human consumption initially. They were actually developed as machine lubricants during the Industrial Revolution. It wasn't until Procter & Gamble came along with Crisco in 1911 that these oils started making their way onto our dinner tables. The real game changer came in 1961 when the American Heart Association gave these oils their stamp of approval as heart-healthy alternatives to saturated fats. But there's a juicy detail they don't advertise. P&G had given the AHA what would now be equivalent to a $20 million donation back in 1948. Talk about food for thought. Recent studies have raised some serious red flags. These oils oxidize easily, potentially fueling inflammation in our bodies. They're loaded with omega-6 fatty acids that push out the healthier omega-3s from our cell membranes. When heated, they can produce some pretty nasty compounds, including some of the same toxins found in cigarette smoke. With the incoming administration promising a fresh look at public health policies, we might finally see some serious scrutiny of these ubiquitous oils. The FDA could potentially review their generally recognized as safe status, which would be a massive shift in how we think about what's really healthy in our food supply. In a fascinating turn of events, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg is looking to play a significant role in shaping tech policies under the incoming Trump administration. According to Meta's president of global affairs, Nick Clegg, Zuckerberg is eager to maintain America's technological leadership and wants to be actively involved in those crucial conversations. Last week, Zuckerberg had dinner with Trump at Mar-a-Lago, and Trump's senior advisor Stephen Miller was quick to interpret this as a clear sign of Zuck's willingness to work with the new administration. While Zuckerberg didn't officially endorse Trump before the election, he did publicly congratulate him on his victory and expressed interest in working with the new administration. But let's not forget the rocky history between these two tech and political heavyweights. Trump previously claimed in his book Save America that Zuckerberg worked against him in the 2020 election, even warning that prison time could be on the table if any illegal interference happened in 2024. Talk about a dramatic relationship upgrade. The Meta chief, who currently stands as the world's third richest person with a net worth of $217 billion, seems to be taking a pragmatic approach to the upcoming administration. While specific details of their high-level discussions remain under wraps, it's clear that both sides are looking to find common ground in shaping America's technological future. This budding alliance between Silicon Valley and the incoming administration could signal a significant shift in how tech policy is shaped in the coming years. With Zuckerberg at the table, we might see some interesting developments in how social media, artificial intelligence, and other emerging technologies are regulated and developed. And that wraps up today's whirlwind tour of the biggest stories shaking up our political landscape. From border wall controversies to Wall Street drama, and from dietary debates to big tech's political plays, we've covered quite a bit of ground today. Remember, if you want to stay ahead of the curve and catch these stories as they break, follow us on X at RantingRP. For deeper dives into all our coverage, exclusive content, and extended analysis, head over to rantingpolitics.com. We're constantly updating with fresh perspectives on the stories that matter most. Thanks for joining us on this edition of Ranting Politics Headline Updates. Keep questioning, keep thinking, and most importantly, keep yourself informed.